let's say hello to somebody who was at the Facebook Developers Conference, F8. And I bet he was very excited because it was a lot about augmented reality. There he is, Robert Scoble.
What's up?
What are you wearing, Robert?
A HoloLens. Since you got the Meta guys on, I figured I'd get the full.
That's the Microsoft one, yeah.
Yeah, mixed reality devices.
So Robert has taken a victory lap because for the last year plus, he started writing for Upload VR and he's doing a lot of coverage in VR. But for the last year plus, he's been saying it's AR. It's going to change the world. Apple is going to be the AR company when their new phone comes out in September. We still don't know about that. In fact, I have a bet with Robert about whether.
Oh, this is interesting.
You're not the only one.
Robert was adamant that the new iPhone would be clear and have be augmented reality focus. And you know what? After Facebook's announcements, I think it's pretty obvious that augmented reality, at least using the camera on a smartphone, is absolutely here. Some people complained that Facebook was copying Snapchat. How do you feel about that?
Well, they came out on the same day, so how did they copy them?
They came out one day later, but obviously they've been working on it. But Facebook,
you don't come up with a developer tool set like they have in one day. And so they're both working on it, and they're not alone. Facebook, Google, Apple, Snap are all working on this stuff. So
the idea being, at least, it's somewhat different from what we're going to see later with Meta and what you have with the HoloLens. Your phone is the AR device. Your camera is the rear camera is picking up the world around you, and the phone is superimposing stuff on top of it. And if you've used Snapchat filters, it's kind of like that.
Or Project Tango, the phones from Lenovo.
But what I really took away from F8 is the expansiveness of Zuck's strategy and the tooling, the AR studio that they showed off, where you create these augmented reality experiences, I guess, is really well thought through. I was really impressed by that.
So you talked a little bit to Mark too, did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's working on mixed reality glasses. He figures they're 2 to 4 years away. And he's investing a lot of money in this field. The Oculus Rift purchase was the first step to get Facebook into this new world.
Well, the story goes that 3 years ago, Mark saw Oculus and was so blown away with it that he said, I'm buying let me write you a check right here. 3.2 billion, something like that, for Oculus. But Oculus is known for VR. Did he have the vision of AR then? Did they have the vision then?
Don't think so, but you never know what he saw. He went to Stanford's VR lab, and I'm sure they talked a bit about what the implications of immersive media are and where it would go in the future. But it's clear that the world is heating up around AR. And so I'm sure that he switched more of his strategy over to AR recently. And the developer tool shows that it wasn't, yesterday. This has been going on for some time.
Oh, years probably, right?
I remember. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. And if you look at the jobs page on Facebook and others, you're going to see a lot of jobs that are aimed at building mixed reality glasses. Optics experts, computer vision experts, AI experts, sensor experts. They're hiring really skilled people, and there's a ton of jobs if you have those skills. So I bet wages are going up for certain kinds of engineers in Silicon Valley.
I was going to say, I remember seeing some of the social VR stuff at the Oculus Connect back in the fall. But I think what was just sort of interesting is the way we've been seeing all this AR in little ways permeating around. I mean, like, for instance, now on the Samsung phones, you have the little AR effects that are built into the camera app.
You have the Bixby Vision, so you can, and I tried it, by the way. I pointed at a product in Bixby. Yeah. But it reminds me of the Amazon Fire Phone. I mean, that was famously a feature on the Fire Phone.
But people are, I mean, I see people catching on. They like it on Snapchat. They like it in the different.
You know what did it? Pokemon Go.
That was definitely the beginning of it. Yeah,
that's
definitely.
The first.
Yeah. That certainly woke people up because they figured out that the market is aware of AR now and is interested in it, and you're going to see a lot. It's not just one thing. The reason I wrote my book on AR is I'm seeing this across the industry, and it's a massive amount of investment. Google, bought in on Magic Leap, right? They invested, I don't know, pretty much a good chunk of the first $500 million of investment in Magic Leap, who is also building these glasses. And Google has its own team. They bought a company called iFluence that's doing a really interesting eye sensor system and an operating system to let us look at things in the world, and menus will spray off of those things. So the next few years are going to be pretty incredible. What Facebook showed was just a little taste of what's coming, and it, we're not to the promised land yet. We're not all wearing glasses yet, me included.
I'm glad you mentioned the book, because this is proof positive that you saw this coming. The book with Shel Israel is The Fourth Transformation. Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Look at that. That's so realistic. It's almost like it was floating in space in front of you. So Robert's really been working and thinking about this for some time now. They also handed out the 360-degree camera. I know you've tried all of these. I've seen your Gyroptic. This is the Gyroptic 360, which is just a few $100s. Works with an iPhone.
You're upside down.
Which one's your favorite of these?
I think of the sub $300, the sub $500 ones, the Gyroptic gives better color. The Insta360 has a few more features. You can control the contrast and the brightness on them a little bit better. But these are a new range of cameras, and you can live stream to Periscope or Facebook Live with these now, and that's a change in the last week. Facebook just turned that on about a week ago.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Although we've had that on YouTube for a while too, right? I mean, that's not.
Yeah, but Facebook is where I see the engagement.
Right.
I want to see this built into the phone, though.
Yeah,
this needs to be built into the phone.
And by the way, this is getting hot.
Oh, really?
This is getting really hot. Well, and also Samsung, which shipped its new S8, is shipping. This is last year's Samsung 360 camera, which I thought was very good for last year.
Yeah, it's still very good.
They've got a new model. I think Robert has it. They've got the new model that you can...
I don't, but Upload does.
Upload has it, yeah.
And it's the sharpest of the ones.
It's 4K.
Yeah. It's 4K, and it works with the Apple products now. The one you have in your hand doesn't work with iPhone, for instance.
Only Samsung.
Well, and I think that this is interesting because it kind of ends up in the same pool as AR and VR, but it is a different beast. 360 immersive video is kind of a different beast.
Now, did you see the new Facebook cameras? Because they're doing something different than those cameras are. Those
for a lot more money, too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. But that all comes down. Remember, I took the first 360 video at Coachella, I think 3 or 4 years ago.
I remember that, yeah.
$6,000 to do what you're basically holding in your hand right there for $300.
Right.
But those only capture pixels all the way around, spherical pixels. The new Facebook cameras actually capture the light field, so you can actually move around inside the image, and that's stunning. It really is stunning. So we have a new kind of camera coming, and innovation is not dead.
Nokia made that Osmo camera. That was, I think, $60,000. It's come down in price. This will obviously be the next generation. Does Facebook make these, or did they just do a spec that other people can make?
A spec that they're using off-the-shelf cameras, and we'll see if Facebook actually manufactures it. I doubt it, but
they don't want to be in that business. Yeah.
No, there's plenty of companies that'll actually build the physical product. But
last year it was all about bots. And I felt like they put bots on the back burner. There are a lot of bots, almost 100,000 bots now.
Yeah.
And they did talk a little bit about bots. What is? Do you think bots are continuing, or is this a flop?
Yeah. In fact, I'm playing with a bot that Ben Parr and his team made for me, or Matt Schlicht over at Octane.ai. It's just a little early for the average consumer to talk to things through the bots, and I think that's sort of why it's muted, and it's not as sexy as augmented reality, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to show that off. I mean, once you show off somebody talking to Visa and asking what's my Visa card balance, it's
You're
hard
done.
To get. It's hard to take that concept much further. I think when we are all walking around with glasses on, then we're going to be really talking to the Siri or Cortana or Alexa a lot more, and that's where bots really become interesting, I think. But right now, marketers are really interested in bots because it saves them money. If you call a business and ask a question, it can cost $100 just to answer one phone call, and bots can answer that question a lot cheaper. So that's part of what's going on.
And really, it's two technologies that sort of interlinked, but that are together. I think going to change everything: augmented reality and artificial intelligence and machine learning, and that. I would agree with you. I mean, you call AR, VR the fourth transformation. I think 4.5 is ML and artificial intelligence. And together, I think we're seeing a whole new paradigm for computing, intelligence everywhere. Oh, you also include AI
right on the cover.
Okay.
So. AI is really important. And what's going on is the self-driving car teams are basically doing the same kind of work. And so if you think about the kind of work that that the self-driving car needs to do.
It's the same, isn't it? Yeah, it's both.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
It's similar. And in fact, I expect Google, when they get into the glasses business, they're going to use the data from the self-driving car in the glasses. So you're going to be looking around the world and it is going to recognize things. This, by the way, this is how it really needs to work. The HoloLens doesn't quite work this way. You know, the HoloLens has 4 sensors on it that see every surface in your room and can lay things on top of it, like a table or something, but it doesn't really know it's a table. And as it gets smarter about what's in your world, it can be smarter about laying artificial things on top of the world, and you'll see this get much better.
Yeah. We're going to, as you know, talk to Ryan at Meta in just a second about their basically HoloLens competitor, which is a lot less expensive and available now for developers.
And they have certain advantages and disadvantages, right? The HoloLens is all self-contained. There's no tether to a PC, but that means that Meta has the ability to have a really big NVIDIA card and spray a lot more polygons on your eyes. And if you're really going to work in these all day long, and there, by the way, when I visit, there's a lot of people working and coding in the Meta headsets now. So this is why I'm so bullish about it, because it really does change how you work.
Right. Because
you can have as many virtualized screens, big screens around you as you want, and that lets you code differently. It lets you watch TV differently, and then we haven't even started talking about all the holographic stuff that is going to be laid on top of your world soon. But it really is a cheaper way to get a lot of screens, right? So now I don't need 5 physical screens in front of me that cost $1,000 a piece. I can buy one pair of glasses and get as many screens around me as I want.
One advantage Facebook has with their bots, at least they're cross-platform, they're Android and iOS. And you were telling me that Spotify and Apple Music both are going to be
in Facebook Messenger
as a bot.
As a bot.
So I'm going to say, hey, play me a song in my Messenger?
Well, it's sort of like talking to a list. You say a list. And by the way, I'm probably setting off a
say Echo. Say Echo. Yeah. That's our new policy. We always say Amazon.
Or Hey G for the Goonies.
But we can play Skrillex, you know. You say Echo, play Skrillex on Spotify, and all of a sudden Skrillex is playing, or play house music, or play, classical music, and all of a sudden
it feels like it's a play for kids. Like, this is the...
I think about the social aspect. That's what I think with it, is when you're hanging out in a chat with somebody. Because I'm doing this right now in Slack.
Our chatters do this in the evening. They have music night and they play videos for each other.
Yeah, it's an interactive way to hang out, especially now because we're so busy. That's why I liked the idea of the social VR, because I told some of my girlfriends about that who are not technophiles, and
they get it and they like it.
Yeah, my friend was saying, I can't wait to hang out with you in a virtual world when I'm too busy to see you.
Speaking of which, they also announced Spaces, which is an Oculus Rift social world that you can hang out with your friends. Nathan and I are going to bring in our Oculus workstations, and we're going to try this. This seems really dopey to me. I
could come hang out with you guys there.
It's really pretty interesting. The problem is nobody's on it, so it's like the internet. If there was only 3 people on the internet, it would be useless, right? But the fact that there's billions of people on the internet,
you can come over and be in our space.
I I don't have an Oculus.
We're going to set up our spaces. We can. I just feels like this makes sense if you're geographically very far away. You can hang out with friends.
No,
Yeah.
I disagree. It is really fun to be in there and working with somebody in Messenger. It's a new kind of Skype, basically.
Really?
And it really is it's something special. But it's a couple of years away before, before it has all of Facebook in there. One piece of it brings in all your pictures, and it's really amazing to look at your pictures that way. But it's slow. It doesn't have all of them. It doesn't have your news feed in there. It doesn't have a lot of things to do, and there's no people in there yet. Now you could call somebody on a regular messenger, and that's cool. They show up over here as a virtualized phone, and you can see them on their video, and you can talk to them, and that's cool. But
you don't have to hold it up and get all tired from holding up the phone.
no, you just
Hi, Mom.
change it virtually. It's a virtual phone that you can drag and put over here, and then you just, hey, Leo, what's going on? And talk to him.
Well, this is why we have you on, Robert. You live in the future. We're just watching from afar, and he has a vision of the world.
It sounds exciting.
Yeah,
Sounds fun.
It might
is
be fun.
It is fun, and the industry is coming out with so much innovation so quickly. Heck, we haven't even talked about Rick and Morty that came out this week.
Oh, yeah,
we haven't really
right.
gone into the snap. There's a lot to go into on just what came out this week.
Right. Well, the place to go. Where can people find your stuff? Scobalizer? Facebook. That's where
I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn, but Facebook.
My friend Gary, who, as you know, worked in virtual reality 20 years ago, was so excited by all your videos from F8. He said, "This is what we were talking about 20 years. It's happening." And it
is happening because
it's very exciting.
Things are getting smaller, and that's going to bring more and more people. Every time it gets smaller, you're going to see the market share go way up and the sales go up.
He's the Scobalizer. Follow Robert Scoble, S-C-O-B-L-E, on Facebook. And don't forget the book, The Fourth Transformation. It's all about how augmented reality and machine learning are changing our world. Thank you. By the way, show that again, because this is Robert's face, a voxel edition of Robert's face. He had himself scanned. And was that at South by you did that?
That's actually not voxels. That's polygons. It's photogrammetry. No, this was at a company called Doob. In fact, they made me a 3D model.
I saw it. Yeah.
It's right here. Look at it.
Let's see.
Oh!
Ah! That's creepy as hell.
It is freaky, isn't it?
Oh my!
It's a little Robert Kendall.
That's wild. It's very accurate.
Yeah, it is.
They stuck me inside 50 cameras and made a 3D model of me, and then they 3D printed me. So the 3D printers are getting really good now. That they have color now, and pretty cool. This is not your maker bot
The future
anymore,
of dolls. Our children will be playing of dolls of us.
But you know what's interesting is when you first held that up, it felt like augmented reality of him, right?
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
And I have a small too, so they made me two of them.
Oh. It comes in two sizes.
I got big Scoville and little Scoville.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you, Robert Scoble. Always a pleasure.
See ya.
See you later.